So we took you along last week as we were turkey scouting, saw a lot of birds, and we told you the scouting kind of evolves. What we do and what we're doing today is, we spent the last week really just locating birds. Now we're really trying to pinpoint exactly where they're roosting. So we're gonna go and we'll listen a little bit from the truck. We've seen where there's birds. We have a general idea. We'll get out of the truck a little bit and listen. You can only be so many places right when they're on the roost. So we're going to one particular place where they're in the timber a little bit, and you can't really see where they pitch down, but try and see if we can't pinpoint where they're pitching down and where they're heading and stuff, and get between them and where they want to go. So that's the method for today. But like we said, last week we spent just locating birds, and we saw a lot of birds, and we've been seeing a lot. I think it's gonna be a really good year. But today we're gonna get a little bit more aggressive. I don't like to go in the woods a lot, because the last thing we want to do is scare birds when we're trying to figure out. So we try and do everything as far away as we can, but yet still be able to hear these birds and pinpoint exactly what they're doing. So all right, so what we're doing, we're just getting ready to get out of the truck and listen a little bit here. But a couple things that's changed since last week. And you saw last week our goal was just kind of, we drove. We did everything pretty much from the truck. We drove and just glassed the fields and stuff. And we located a lot of birds. I think the day that we were out with you, we ended up filming 15, 16 birds. But we saw, after that, I think we saw 20, 21 birds in the morning. And we really try and be, low impact. We like to stay out of the woods if we can. We're fortunate. I know some guys in PA, they're hunting big woods. So that's sometimes not an option. But, we have a lot of these fields and farmers' fields that we can drive and glass. So located a bunch of the birds last week. Now what we're doing, we got about a week and a half until opening day, which is April 24th. Today we're going to get a little bit more aggressive. We're not doing anything crazy going into the woods. We know where the general location of these birds are. So now what we're doing is I'll be out every morning in a different place listening and trying to figure out exactly where these birds are roosting. And that's the goal today. And then even what we'll do is we'll hear them gobbling on the roost, so we'll know approximately where they're going to pitch down and things like that. And what we'll do is we'll drive and try and catch some other ones. And then we'll drive a little bit and glass the fields and just keep tabs on them. So that's the goal here this morning. We've got season coming up, week and a half. I said it's been warm the last week. It's been about 70 degrees every day, so these birds have been breaking up. We've been getting a lot of trail cam pictures, different things like that, showing 1, 2, 3 maybe longbeards together instead of 10, and a few hens. So that's a good thing. So we're gonna get out of the truck here and listen. It's gonna be breaking daylight, and they should start gobbling here pretty quick. All right, we're this place we're looking today is not really open fields. It's kind of in the hardwoods, so we're just gonna walk down here a little bit and see if we can't hear these birds. We already heard birds starting to gobble probably about 300 yards away, so hopefully the birds that I think here are gonna fire up here pretty quick, and we'll kind of pinpoint where they're at and then take off and see if we can't find some more birds and where they're roosting. How's that go? Didn't work. I think he scared him half to death. We will do that once in a while, whether it's a crow call or a owl hoot, just to give them a shock gobble and kind of figure out where they're at. But I want to tell you guys in PA, don't call to these birds. Don't call them.
Turkey call.
Yeah, turkey call. Do not turkey call to them. Whatever you do, I know it's tempting. It's fun. It's fun to hear them get fired up and gobble. Don't do it. Keep them dumb. So, I'm being a little impatient. We didn't hear any birds here. I know they're here, but they're hammering over about 300 yards away. So, we're going to go over and get some audio for you. They're going pretty good. I was thinking we were hearing those birds up there. That was on cue. I swear, those birds like to roost there a lot. Those are new birds. We haven't seen those. This is all pretty much hardwoods around us, so So that's why we get out early and listen, really pinpoint exactly where these birds are at. So it's good. Sounds like, what do you think, 2 or 3?
Yeah. Definitely 2.
Yeah. You'll see too, I'm dressed in a regular sweatshirt and jeans. Starting next week, we'll get in the woods a little bit and get a little bit more aggressive, and we'll be all in camo. Still, kind of the goal this week is be low impact, but get out every morning before daylight and really hear where they're roosting at. And then when we really start pinpointing birds next week, we'll not only try and get to a place where we hear them, but get to a place where we can see them, where they pitch down and where they're going. So we'll get a little bit more aggressive next week and get all camoed up and get in the woods a little bit, but we're still trying to be as low impact as possible and just hear where these birds are at. So
You just flew down.
there's deer. There was gobbles. Did you hear him?
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty far away.
About 50 deer.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There was gobbles. Way down in.
One other thing we should touch on. People are disgusting. Literally, why? Doesn't make any sense to me.
So now we're just, as you can see, it's daylight out, and we're just driving around and listening, glassing a little bit. Wherever you see birds at right now means they're close to where they're roosting right when it's first daylight like this, so gives you a good idea. Yeah, it's definitely back there. I've been seeing a bird back there pretty much every morning. Yeah.
That one's close.
Yeah. I think it's the same one. I think he was just turned looking the other way. There he went.
Of course. Boom.
It's not bad odds. I like 1 long beard and 2 hens better than 1 long beard and 20 hens. But like I said before, he's right along the main road. He might want to find a new home.
I think they like the truck here. Trying to hide. Oh. Running around. That one's a Tom too. He's not strutting. I think there's 3 and then there's 1 back there somewhere. He'd be pretty close to kill a turkey.
Looks like they're coming down. Might be a good spot if you don't get one right off the roost. It looks like they're coming over the hill and heading down into ours mid-morning. So that's always a good thing to do when you're scouting birds is first thing in the morning you try and find birds where they roost, get between where they're going, and if it doesn't work out, having a plan B where you can get up and move and try and scout birds maybe that you're seeing in mid-morning certain places, and you go hunt those birds. So always good to have options.
See his head sticking up?
Oh, there he is. See a Jake? Nice long beard. So we've seen lots of birds and heard lots of birds this morning. What we're going to do now is we're going to wrap it up. Later this afternoon, we're going to be shooting Addison shotgun, getting her ready to go, and then heading out and roosting some birds this evening. I like to do that. We've been doing that a lot, but I really, 2 weeks before, I'll start getting out in the mornings and the evenings. So we'll get out here in the evening, start seeing where these birds are flying up at night, and we do that pretty much about every day until season starts. And then next week, I probably will put on the camo a little bit and get in the woods a little bit more. But we'll want to, and if you don't have to do that, don't do it. We might be in a position we can see everything from the road and do everything from a distance with low impact. So I'll always do that. But if we need to, if we have a certain area we're scouting and I need to get in the woods, we'll put the camo on and get in. But shoot Addison shotgun tonight, go out and roost some birds, and the 24th can't get here soon enough. Okay, we're just sitting here listening for birds, and you hear me talk about this a lot, but I can't stress it enough. It's a great scouting tool, is our trail cameras. And we have some traditional trail cameras that we go in and check. We have some really hard to get to spots where we have some of our Moultrie cellular cameras. And man, recently, just over the past, I don't know, week or so, we've really been getting a bunch of birds in here at all different times of the day. That's a cool picture. Goblin there. But they're in here regularly. 3-4 longbeards are pretty much there all the time. And we get these, we never have to go in. We kind of have a time when they're there. Right now they're there pretty much every day, but that's we like to put our trail cameras on, like over the food plots where we have clover. They seem to really like clover this time of year. Strut zones, big fields, anywhere where they might be strutting. So I'd encourage you, and that's a great way to scout for turkey, whether it's the traditional trail cameras, but the low impact stuff is when you have the cellular cameras sent right to your phone. And we've been getting a bunch of birds on the plot. So that's definitely going to be an option for the first day. The other thing we really start doing this time of year here, a couple weeks out, we start roosting birds. So we got about an hour before dark, and we're in a particular area. I know there's birds. I want to see right where they're flying up at. We consistently see birds here, and they're out in the field right now. We're just going to sit here and watch and see where they're pitching up and keep tabs on them. But it's another thing we like to do, and the thing that does for you, if birds start to get a little bit patterned, a little bit more consistent, and if you know right where they're roosting and then you see right where they're pitching down, it really helps you come up with a game plan of where you want to set up and stuff. So we're going to roost some birds tonight and kind of see where they head down in and pitch up. So I was by here the other night, and I saw probably 3 or 4 strutters, and they generally like to pitch up in every year anyway. There's a bowl over there, and they like to go in there and pitch up. But we hunt these birds a lot. We've had a lot of success hunting these birds. The property they're on right now is not ours. It's actually Amish, which they're gonna want to stay off there. They might get shot. But where they roost and all the ground in between is ours that we hunt. So a lot of times we can get between them in that big green field. You're in business. So haven't seen any strutters yet. There's definitely a big bird up there, which I think is definitely a longbeard, and we're seeing a couple other ones moving in and out. So hopefully some of these longbeards pop out and we can get an idea where they're pitching up. Okay, sure enough, we did finally see at least 3 longbeards come down across that green field, and they're working their way down now through, the line is that green field, and then where we hunt is where they're going to go pitch up here, and they're looks like they're heading down. We're going to watch them for a little bit longer, but once they get to a certain point, pretty much right where they're at. So this might be an option. I mean, we'll definitely hunt these birds at some point in time throughout the season, but it could be an option getting between them and that green field on the first day. But they're going to pitch up right where we think, and this is a great way of just, you know, figuring out what these birds are doing and where they're going to be at. So, roosting birds.